What's up everyone, welcome back to another video and join us on our 10-day trip to Italy. So we flew from JFK to FCO, which is the international airport in Rome. From Rome we took the train to Florence for the first portion of the trip, and then after Florence we headed to Naples, then Sorrento, and then finished off the trip in Rome.
Made it to Florence.
Once we got to Florence, we walked around the city, and as you can see by the clips, we saw Ponte Santa Trinita, which is next to the more commonly known Ponte Vecchio. We then walked around the Piazza di Santa Maria Novella, which was lined with shopping tents that led you to the Basilica. And then after that, we went to see the Duomo, which is the third largest cathedral in the world, and the Battistero di San Giovanni, which are two of Florence's key landmarks. We ended the afternoon in our Airbnb with an espresso. Then on day 2, we had a winery tour and pizza making class scheduled. And we met our tour guide at Gamberini, where we decided to have breakfast. Our first stop was at Piazzale Michelangelo, a terrace that overlooked the city and had a replica of the Statue of David. Then the second stop was at Corbucci Wine for our first wine tasting of the day. The winery is a family-run business passed down from generation to generation. We tried roughly 6 wines served with some appetizers, and the owner Francesco educated us on the different types of wines and pairings.
So forever, when in the glass you will see a light red color, rosé, rosato color pink, that is a wine made by a short skin touch. So the skin of the Sangiovese, the main grape of Tuscany, blue, red color, remain in touch with the juice few hours to get this beautiful color. So we make
Next, we visited San Gimignano, a medieval town that's well preserved. Families during this time displayed their wealth and power by building towers here. And as you walked around, it felt as if time was frozen and you were transported back in time. The narrow roads led you to openings in the town with unforgettable views of the Tuscan fields too. The final stop of the tour was Fattoria Poggio Loro, a farm, restaurant, and hotel. When we arrived, we were lucky to see some of the winemaking process. We saw the grapes being harvested and crushed. Here we had another wine tasting and lunch before heading back for our pizza making class. And I really enjoyed this class because it reminded me of making pizza with my family growing up. As we headed back to the Airbnb, we came across an old photo booth, which was used for photo identification from the 1950s. On day 3, we had a full day tour to Cinque Terre. We had a scenic drive from Florence to La Spezia, and along the way, our tour guide highlighted aqueducts and other significant Tuscan cities. And once at La Spezia train station, we took the train and spent an hour in each town. First off was Manarola, known for its luminous nativity scene on the hills, made up of pieces of recycled iron. Then we walked around the town and got some breakfast. Next up was Cornelia, where we climbed over 380 steps to get from the train station to the center of the town. Now, half of our tour group hiked from Cornelia to Vernazza, but we opted to go by train instead to spend more time in Vernazza. Then in Vernazza, we visited Chiesa di Santa Margherita di Antiochia toward the end of the town, overlooking the water. And all of the town is filled with brightly painted houses, as you can see in the video. Then we took the train to Monterosso, which had the most notable sandy beach in comparison to the rocky beaches in the other towns. And both Monterosso and Vernazza are the oldest of the 5 towns. From Monterosso, we took a boat ride to Rio Maggiore. Here we got coastal views of the towns, and actually Rio Maggiore was an inspiration for Disney's animated film Luca. Overall, these 5 towns are one of Italy's national parks and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We arrived back in Florence later that evening and decided to get dinner at Mercato Centrale. On our final morning in Florence, we did some souvenir shopping and came across Piazza della Signora, where there were several statues on display. Then we headed to Naples.
Made it to Naples.
We explored the area a little bit and grabbed dinner at Impertis Gran Cafe. This ended up actually being our favorite spot to eat at in Naples, as they have a selection of pasta dishes for only €6. And since our time in Naples was short, we didn't have any tours planned. We decided to walk around on our own and experience the city. We happened to be in Naples during the Feast of San Gennaro, which is the city's patron saint. We had a view of the fireworks with Mount Vesuvius in the background too. Then to end the night, we grabbed pizza for dinner. We decided to book a private transfer to Sorrento because we were concerned about the transportation strike that was happening in the area. Our Airbnb was on the main street called Corsa Italia, lined with restaurants and stores. Sorrento is a coastal town, so it felt more relaxed compared to a busier city like Naples. We walked from our Airbnb to Marina Piccola for our Capri boat tour. As we sailed towards the Blue Grotto, we had great views of Vesuvius, and once we arrived at the entrance to the Blue Grotto, we waited until the rowboats arrived to take us inside. Since we got there early in the morning, we didn't actually have to wait too long to get inside, and then once inside, the water appeared to be glowing, so it's actually due to the reflection of the light coming from another entrance below the surface.
We're alive. We're alive.
As we continued to sail around the island, we saw the iconic Faragnoni rocks, and after docking in the Marina Grande, we decided to stay around the dock and walk around to enjoy the views. When sailing back from Capri to Sorrento, our tour guide pointed out the remains of a 1,000-year-old Roman settlement. Later that evening, we had dinner at the Secret Garden, followed up by vegan gelato from Reiki. Our last tour for the trip was an Amalfi Coast tour by boat. We started in Ravello, visiting Isla Ruffolo.
Wow. Molto bene.
In Amalfi, we tried the lemon delight dessert at Pasticceria Panza and some crisp fountain water. Finishing off the tour, we had lunch in Positano at Lulu's. This was one of the best sandwiches I had in Italy. From Sorrento, we returned to Naples for a few hours before heading to our final stop in Rome. That night, we got pizza near our Airbnb. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we definitely tried to see it in one. We went to the Colosseum and Trevi Fountain and hope to come back in the future to explore more. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I'm out. Later.